Arthur Schopenhauer, the brooding philosopher of pessimism, once wrote, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see." But what he didn't say outright is that hitting those invisible targets often makes you a target yourself. Society loves winners, but only if they don't remind others they've lost. This is the paradox of intelligence. The smarter you are, the more dangerous it becomes to let it show. Schopenhauer's secret, echoed by ancient thinkers like Sun Tzu and Laozi, is simple. Hiding your power is the greatest power. To survive and thrive in a world that fears intelligence, you must master the art of playing dumb, the grace of humility, and the quiet strategy of letting others think they're in control. This is not a call to abandon intelligence. It is a plea to cloak it. Schopenhauer understood that intelligence is a double-edged sword. While it grants clarity, it also invites envy, suspicion, and sabotage. In his essay, On the Suffering of the World, he argued that humans are driven by a will to live that manifests as relentless competition. Those who stand out, especially intellectually, disrupt the fragile hierarchies of social and professional life. A colleague who solves problems too quickly becomes a threat. A friend who speaks too insightfully becomes a rival. Even family may grow uneasy around someone whose ideas challenge their worldview. Modern workplaces amplify this tension. Ambitious employees who flaunt their skills risk being labeled arrogant or difficult. Managers, sensing competition, may withhold opportunities to maintain their own authority. Schopenhauer's advice: do not let your existence become a reproach to others. In other words, dim your light so others don't feel shadowed. One of Schopenhauer's most underrated strategies is strategic silence. George Bernard Shaw said, "Silence is the most perfect expression of scorn." But silence is also a shield. By listening more and speaking less, you gain 3 advantages. You learn others' weaknesses. Sun Tzu's The Art of War teaches that all warfare is based on deception. When you listen, you gather intelligence. A co-worker's offhand complaint about a project reveals their insecurities. A boss's vague praise hints at their priorities. Knowledge, not brilliance, is power. 2. You avoid unnecessary conflict. Plato's dialogues show Socrates using irony to navigate Athenian politics. By pretending ignorance, Socratic irony, Socrates lured opponents into exposing their own flawed logic. 3. You control perceptions. Laozi, founder of Taoism, wrote, "Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know." The less you say, the more others project onto you. They might assume you're humble, cautious, or even ordinary, all while you're quietly outmaneuvering them. A modern example? Think of the underdog who wins a promotion by letting louder colleagues take credit for early wins, only to surpass them in the final stretch. Schopenhauer despised arrogance, calling it the anesthetic of the mediocre. True intelligence, he believed, requires intellectual humility, the ability to doubt your own ideas and elevate others. This is not weakness. It is a calculated tactic to earn trust and avoid resentment. Consider the Tao Te Ching. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. By appearing soft, asking for advice, admitting gaps in knowledge, you become unstoppable. Colleagues lower their guard, bosses feel secure in their authority, competitors underestimate you. A practical application: In meetings, frame your ideas as questions. What if we tried? Or could this approach work? This invites collaboration, not confrontation. Schopenhauer called this winning without showing off. You advance your agenda while letting others feel they contributed. Sun Tzu's The Art of War is a manual for invisible dominance. 2 principles are critical. 1. Appear weak when you are strong. In a job interview, admitting, "I'm still learning this skill," can make you more likable than a know-it-all. In negotiations, hesitating before agreeing to a deal signals humility, not desperation. 2. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night. Share your goals sparingly. A coworker who knows you're gunning for a promotion may sabotage you. A boss who senses your ambition may feel threatened. Schopenhauer took this further with his concept of silent leadership. True leaders, he argued, don't command attention. They inspire through subtlety. A manager who listens more than they speak earns loyalty. A CEO who credits their team for successes avoids envy. Speaking of leaders, bosses come to mind. Schopenhauer's essay on the wisdom of life offers a bleak truth. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. Your boss is no exception. To manage someone who fears being outshined, use the kindness strategy. Compliment their ideas first. Your approach gave me a great foundation. I just built on it. Then, ask for permission to contribute. Would it be helpful if I shared an idea? Frames your input as assistance, not a challenge. Let them take credit. Schopenhauer wrote, "The cheapest sort of pride is national pride, the cheapest sort of victory, needing everyone to know it's yours." History's greatest strategists mastered this. Benjamin Franklin, known for his diplomacy, often attributed his ideas to anonymous friends to avoid provoking rivals. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche wrote, "A man's maturity consists in having regained the seriousness he had as a child at play." Schopenhauer would agree, but with a twist. Maturity means knowing when to act like a fool. Playing dumb is not about being ignorant. It's about selectively revealing your intelligence to avoid triggering others' defenses. A software developer downplays their coding skills to avoid being overloaded with tasks. A student struggles with a concept in class, prompting the teacher to explain it in detail, revealing gaps in their own logic. Even Plato used this tactic. His dialogues portray Socrates as a confused old man, a mask that let him dismantle Athenian elites' arguments without appearing threatening. Envy is the price of visibility, possibly the worst sin of human nature. Laozi warned that he who stands on tiptoe does not stand firm. The solution? Become invisible, dress modestly. Flashy clothes attract attention, understated styles deflect it. Celebrate others' wins. Praise a co-worker's success loudly, it distracts from your own. Share credit compulsively. "We did this together" is armor against resentment. In his lesser-known writings, Schopenhauer outlined tactics for surviving a mediocre world. Use simplicity as a disguise. Speak plainly. Avoid jargon. Let others mistake clarity for simplicity. Let others believe they persuaded you. People adopt ideas faster if they think they came up with them. Never correct trivial errors. Fixing a coworker's grammar wins nothing and costs goodwill. Flatter the vain. A well-timed compliment to a narcissistic boss buys protection. Retreat when victory is assured. Push too hard, and you'll create enemies. Win quietly, and you'll live to win again. These mirror Sun Tzu's advice. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war. Schopenhauer wrote, "The more a man has in himself, the less others can be to him." But this doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means leading by listening. When you focus on others' words, you gain control. A therapist listens to uncover vulnerabilities. A negotiator listens to find compromise. A friend listens to deepen trust. In the Tao Te Ching, this is called Wei Wu Wei, action through inaction. By listening, you guide conversations without steering them. By asking questions, you plant ideas without asserting them. Schopenhauer's secret is not about suppressing intelligence. It's about strategically diffusing it so the world can tolerate your light. In a society that fears superiority, the smartest move is to make others feel smart. This is the way of water, as Laozi taught, soft enough to flow around obstacles, strong enough to erode mountains. It is the way of Sun Tzu, winning battles before they're fought. And it is Schopenhauer's way, surviving a world that punishes those who see too much. In the end, the greatest trick intelligence can play is convincing the world it doesn't exist. The first rule of happiness: expect little. The second rule: give much. The third rule: want what you have. To want less recognition, to give more credit, to expect no applause. This is how the truly intelligent endure. You'll never want to be smart ever again, because you'll be something better, unstoppable. Sorry for the butchering of words. Or maybe I was just playing dumb.